Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. Today is September 5th, 2017, and I'm sitting here in my living room with my lovely shrine in the background of wrestling belts. Hope that doesn't distract you too much, because I'm here to talk a little bit about politics today. Specifically, I'm looking at a Municipal project. They did a study back in 2010 entitled Grants in Lieu of Property Taxes. Let me just read you a little bit of their summary. Across Canada, municipalities have three primary sources of revenue: property tax, license fees, and user fees. The largest portion of municipal revenue is derived from property taxes. Typically, all levels of government are exempt from paying municipal property taxes, but in almost every province and territory, the government pays municipalities a grant in lieu of taxes. Newfoundland and Prince Edward Island do not have a grant in lieu program modeled after the other jurisdictions. Instead of paying the full amount of property tax that would otherwise be levied, Prince Edward Island only covers the non-commercial portion of the property tax, and this is more of a tax credit measure than a grant in lieu. Similarly, Newfoundland's program only pays the full level of water tax on Crown lands at the rate applied to commercial properties. So essentially, according to this report, which I believe is still fairly accurate, the provincial government does not pay either property tax to the city nor any type of grants in lieu. Now, if the city wants to buy something or buy something from the province, yes, they're paying the GST and the HST and all that stuff. Is it fair for the city not to be allowed to collect their primary source of revenue? We've seen the provincial government and the federal government offload services. They push them down to the municipal level. This is now your problem. This is now your jurisdiction, but we're not going to give you any resources or money to help deal with it. It's been an ongoing, concerning complaint of municipalities across the country for the past 20 years. I think it's time to fix this specific matter. Why should the provincial government be exempt from paying property tax like every other business or every other private homeowner? Or at the very least, how about a grant in lieu of the property taxes? The city is struggling to keep all the upwork of the money that needs to be spent. Specifically St. John's. You take a look at any other city in our province in Newfoundland and Labrador. The provincial government has more property in St. John's and Newfoundland and Labrador, in St. John's, than any other city or town or area. That means the city's primary source of revenue is not able to be collected for a high portion or percentage of our property. One thing I would attempt to do if elected to this city council would be to look at this model. I would look at the other provinces and try to come up with a way to make this work. Is it going to be easy to convince the provincial government that they should be paying the city? Won't be easy, but if we present to them a reasonable case study that demonstrates how and why this is important, how and why this works in other jurisdictions, why 8 of the other 10 provinces are doing this, I think there are ways to make this happen. It's a simple case of paying one's fair share and giving the city government access to the tools it needs to do the job that it is mandated to do. There are municipal acts set by the province. The province of Newfoundland and Labrador has created the City of St. John's Act. They basically legislate how this city runs and how this city operates. In some cases it tells this city what it can or can't do. In some cases it takes our hands and ties them together and says, no, you cannot do this. We've seen a lot of finger pointing. I'm going to get into this in another video, so I won't talk too much about it. The concept of traffic and traffic safety, speeding. Again, another area where the province is tying the city's hands in some ways, giving them access and resources in others, and there's just no functionality, no communication. So for the last time I'm going to say, grants in lieu of property taxes or property taxes. Province, it's time for you to pay your fair share. And if Jennifer McCreath is elected to St. John's City Council, I will push to make this happen. Thank you very much for watching my video today.